You mentioned pre, point, and post.
Hmm.
What are some of the design mistakes we're making
Sure.
along that path, not only for all the consumers, whether they're the docs, the caregivers, the patients themselves? What mistakes do you see from your perspective that we're
Sure.
making?
Well, there's so many. So I'll give you a couple examples,
Okay.
right? But there
Yeah.
are so many. So when we first rolled out EHRs, for example,
Mhm.
right? These were technologies built not by doctors but for doctors. Number one, design
Yes.
mistake. The end
Yeah.
user was always brought in at the end. You hear
Mm.
all of the technology geeks and propeller heads walking around him saying, "If those
Sure.
stupid doctors would just use this thing,
Sure.
we'd be golden, right?"
Right.
And the first thing you
Yes.
have to say is, "Gosh, you must have not built it right." Right? Because if
That's
it was
right.
so good,
Mhm.
you don't have to tell the end user. The end users be there before you even had a chance
Yes.
to even explain it, right?
Mhm.
And I think Apple products, I have no vested interest in Apple products, but the beauty of
Sure.
Apple products is when you take them out of the box, there's no training needed, right?
Just use them.
We have to start developing health technology tools that require little training, that are much more intuitive. And the only way to do that is by getting the end user involved from the beginning. Whether it's a patient-facing technology,
Yep.
consumer-facing technology, or physician-facing technology, we always seem to leave the end user out and lead with the technology piece. And we
Yep.
forget why we created all of these things. I'll give you a really simple example. We rolled out EHRs in my practice in the beginning of, seems like years ago now,
Sure.
or was years ago now. And we created these things because we thought it would better improve the patient-physician experience. We'd have better data. I mean, all the reasons we all know.
Sure.
And what happened when we rolled out our EHR in our practice, our doctors all completely stopped looking their patients in the eye. They were
Yeah.
so busy and focused on the keyboard.
Yes.
And patients would say, "Dr. Nayyar, the reason," and I had patients who actually switched to me from my partners, and they would say to me, and I would say, I felt a little embarrassed. What happened? You used to see Dr. So-and-so for so many years.
Sure.
But Dr. Nayyar, you're the only one that still looks us in the eye. Everyone else is just so focused on the keyboard. I happen to be a younger doc in the practice. I had taught myself to type like this,
Sure.
always maintaining the eye contact.
Sure.
Not everyone in our practice could do that. And it was so simple, right? It was this tool that was actually supposed to help us practice better medicine. And our patients actually felt alienated. And even if we were actually doing the back end better, the patients only felt connected when you looked them in the eye.
Right.
And I think we forget that in a lot of the design that we create, is that eye contact at the end of the day is when people feel like you're listening to them, they're
Yep.
engaged, and you care, right? I mean, at the end of the day, people are coming to you scared. They have a question about a serious health concern or a health concern they don't even know if it's serious. And you're so busy looking down, or you're so busy doing other stuff, that you lose the human factor. And I think that now has to be the design forward thinking. It's the human factor and the end user up front.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you hear so much about human-computer interaction, but we're forgetting that the human-computer interaction is interrupting the human-to-human interaction.
Correct.
We're not thinking about it from that perspective as well as we need to.
Correct. And I think the other thing to think about is as we move into virtual medicine, telemedicine, we in medical school we learn bedside manner. We learn the importance of, eye contact,
Sure.
holding someone's hand, things like this. We now need to talk about website manner, right? We rolled out telemedicine with our group. One of the best things about it was we actually had patients say, "Wow, my docs now look me in the eye because it's a virtual visit."
I hadn't thought of that.
When it's in person, oftentimes they're so busy doing this stuff, but when it's telemedicine, even the docs feel
Right in
like,
the camera.
right, I got to look at the camera. On the flip side, when we've had the mobile devices, a lot of the patients say, all I keep looking at is my doc's nostrils. Don't like it.
Oh.
You need them to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're
I hadn't
learning.
thought about that.
Yes.
Webside manner.
Webside manner. Very important as we go forward along with bedside manner. And
Awesome.
design. And design.